Hi there, this is Veronica. Today I'll be making a small Cambridge satchel bag. So it's small for a Cambridge bag, but it will be a medium size for a satchel bag. The design is a combination of a Cambridge bag and a satchel bag. So to me, a Cambridge bag is about having a front pocket, and also the way of the cassette is attached. So the lid is half closed. It's also part of the Cambridge bag design. And for satchel bags, there are usually a handle and the two straps that goes across the bag from the lid to the front. So now we have the design, let's make them into patterns. So print out the patterns and make them into templates. There are quite many parts for making this bag. We'll first have a front and back panel. On top of that, we will have a front pocket. And on top of the pocket, we'll have attachments for the roller buckle and the straps for holding the front strap. Then we'll have a lid that goes on top with two D-ring attachments that goes to attach to the handle. Then we will have a cassette that connects the front and back panel. On top of that will be a D-ring attachments for the shoulder straps. The leather I'm using is this blue chrome tan leather, and this is 5 to 6 ounce. And the other leather is also chrome tan leather. This is a bit stiffer and it's 3 to 4 ounce. In here we have all the smaller parts cut according to the templates. We will first finish all the edges needed. So for the front pocket, we're going to finish the edges on all sides. And for these long strips of leather, it's going to be the middle part of the handle. Here I only finish the edge of the exposed part. And for all the D-ring attachments, I'll be only finish the middle section of the attachments. And for these tucks, I'll be finish all sides. And for the roller buckle attachments, I'll be only finish the longer part. Same thing for the other attachments. On the back of the attachments, I'm going to finish the back of the leather on the middle section. So the reason why we only finish the middle section of almost all the attachments is because this is the part that will be folded, and the middle section is where it curves and attached to the hardware. So we'll be finishing them first, as it will be a lot more difficult to finish it later. Now we have all the small parts ready, we're going to make the handle. We'll first lay down a long strip of leather with the wrong side up. Then we will put the square rings on each end. And we want the square ring to be right at the middle of the leather. So fold the end to the center line to place the square ring. Then we'll be gluing the leather up. So this long strip of leather is going to be folded in half with the end attached to the center line on both sides. On top of that, we're going to attach this square piece of leather on. As you can see that the leather has all the holes punched according to the template. And we will also be punching all the holes on top of the leather we just glued together. Now we're going to glue 2 pieces of leather together. This rectangular leather is going to be wrapped around the blue leather. Here I use 2 awls to make sure that all the holes are aligned. Then we will sew them all up together. And here we have our handle. On the other side of the square ring, we're going to attach these attachments. Apply glue on both ends of the attachments and run it through the square ring and fold the attachments in half to install the square ring. Now the handle is ready. Moving on, we're going to make the front pocket. We'll first be preparing all the attachments. These are the roller buckle attachments. We'll first make the holes for the roller buckle. Use the templates to draw the guideline onto the attachments. Then punch the holes accordingly. Install the roller buckle in the middle of the attachments, then fold the attachments in half. Glue them all together, then punch a holes for installing the rivets, and this is going to stop the roller buckles from falling out. Install the rivets, then finish the edges. Cut out the templates where the attachments goes. This will help positioning on the leather. Punch all the holes according to the templates on all the attachments and the tucks and also the front pocket. Here I already applied glue on, and I will install the rivets at the same time, and that will help to keep the attachments in place. Then we're going to sew the attachment onto the front pocket. Sewing it up, then we're going to attach the tuck. These tucks are the longer ones. Moving on, we're going to reshape the tuck. And now after installing, it looks like an arch. I want to reshape it into more of a square shape. This is to make the height of the tuck to be evenly distributed. Next, we're going to attach half of the tuck lock on the pocket. I use the gel pen on top of the lock to help positioning. Then we're just going to install the lock on. The back of the lock is quite sharp, so I add a piece of fabric tape. For the liner of the pocket, I'm going to use this cowhide liner. This is about 1 to 2 ounces of chrome tan leather. Then glue the front pocket onto the liner. Trim off all the excess, then finish all the edges. And here I'm just going to sew the top opening up. Next, we'll attach that onto the front panel. Draw the guideline on the leather according to the templates, then sew the pocket on. Moving on, we're going to make the lid. On top of the lid, we're going to cut off the opening where we're going to tuck in the handle. And also punch the hole right next to the opening. To install the handle, we're going to tuck the attachments through the leather and attach it to the lid with the rivet. Now that because I use chrome tan leather and this is a softer leather, we're going to add some reinforcements. On the middle part in between the two attachments, in between the opening, I'm going to add a small piece of stiffener. Adding support for the handle will prevent the lid from being deformed. After the small stiffener, I add a larger piece that covers the attachments as well. And this piece will be almost at the edge of the lid. And next I'm going to attach the tuck on the lid. And these are the shorter tuck from the pattern. I'm also going to use cowhide liner for the liner of the lid. We'll be first gluing the flat part of the lid. This part is where they overlap on top of the front panel. Then we will move on to glue the curved part. Here I use a piece of 2x4 as a support. So the lid will be curved at about a 90-degree angle to the handle, then another 90 degrees to the back. Smooth down the liner, then cut off all the excess. Then we're going to sew it all up except the back side of the lid, and also finish all the edges. Next, let's finish the back panel. Inside of the back panel, I'm going to attach a piece of non-woven fabric, and this is just give it a little support, a little bit of thickness. Then we're going to attach the lid onto the back panel. Here I glue and punch all the holes for the lid. And we'll also be sewing the 2 straps that goes to the front at the same time. Use the patterns to position the straps. Then we will sew the straps to the lid. For the gazette, we're going to attach 2 D-ring attachments, and these attachments are for the shoulder straps. Stitch them up, and we're going to glue it onto the front and back panel. This is the style of Cambridge bag, is to have a long strip of gazette that glues directly on top of front and back panel with the wrong side attached to each other. Here I glue the bottom side first, then glue the 2 top edges on, and finish the corners last, and sew them all up. And on the same thing to the front panel, then we will be sewing them up. Finish all the edges. Now the back is pretty much done. We're going to take care of all the details. Here we're going to install the other part of the tuck lock. Next, we're going to install the closure straps to the front of the lid. Punch the holes according to the template. Here I was deciding if I want to use the black rivet or the silver rivet, and I decided to go with the black one. Next, we're going to punch the holes for the roller buckles to go through. And this part should be done at the last step for the accuracy, because depending on the leather thickness and the roller buckle you have, the position for these holes might be different. And here I'm going to trim the straps. I mark the line of the bottom edge of the bag and use that to cut the end of the straps. Then I use some leather conditioners to remove all the marks. And this is what the bag looks like so far. The main bag is pretty much done. All we have left is a fabric liner and also the shoulder straps. If you were to attach the fabric liner on the back, you should punch all the holes at the top edge of the leather before you assembling them together. To make the fabric liner, I'm going to use the patterns for front and back panel. To the right, we'll add a width of the gusset, and the bottom will have half of the width of the gusset. This fabric is folded in half. Also add 2 rectangular pieces to make the pockets. To make the pocket for the liner, I sew up all sides of the fabric, and for the main bag, I sew up the top and bottom edges. On the inside of the fabric, I'm going to attach the pockets on, and there will be a pocket on each side. And now we're going to sew the fabric on the 2 sides. Then that will make the fabric liner. Glue the fabric on the inside of the bag along the top edge. Then we will be sewing the top edge all up. Now the main bag is complete. Moving on, we're going to make the shoulder straps. To make the shoulder straps, we have one long strip of leather and a short strip of leather. On each end of both leather, we're going to attach D-ring hook on. I have a smaller D-ring hook here, so to install it, I'm going to cut where the D-ring hook is placed to a smaller size. Glue and attach the end together. On the other end of the shorter strap, we're going to attach a roller buckle. And instead of tuck, we're going to install a strap ring. To make a strap ring, wrap a thin strip of leather around 2 layers of leather and cut it into size. Then I used an awl to pierce 2 holes on each end to sew the ring up. Sew it up and finish all the edges. And we will install the strap ring in first, then the roller buckle. Then we will fold this end of the strap in. Here I'm going to install 2 rivets, one to hold the roller buckle in place and the other will keep the strap ring from moving. I'm also going to install rivets for the D-ring hook. Same thing for the longer strap, one end will be D-ring hooks, and the other end of the long strap is going to be holes that the roller buckle goes through. So the shoulder strap has a D-ring hook on one end and roller buckle on the other. And the long strap will have D-ring hook on one end and roller buckle holes on the other. Now put 2 straps together. Now put the straps together, then we can install it onto the bag. Now the bag is all complete. And I personally like this bag a lot. I've been using it whenever I go out. I like how the combination of color turned out. And I've designed these to match all my likings for a bag. So I'm very pleased with the outcome. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.